What's good? How you doing out there tonight? Welcome. I'm Lee Black, the host of Real Talk for Real Men, and we are live once again on November 22nd and calling to you from Atlanta. It is fucking 80-something degrees here. It's absolutely ridiculous, but we will get into that again a little bit later at another time. But I do have my co-host in the house, McMac. What's going on?
Oh, not much. What's going on?
Oh, I'm here, sweetheart, and again, appreciate you joining me for what is going to be our last show of 2025 and could be the last show for forever. And I laugh, but there is some seriousness to me. So, of course, I wanted to first say, welcome to the Superfan CC. How you doing?
Hey,
Good to be live. Again, we don't have very many viewers, but I still haven't figured out this new thing. This is a testament to where we are at, where I'm certainly at as I get to this time of the year. So good to see you, CC. CC says, "What's up, Tasha?" And then CC says, "Huh?" Yes. So here's the reality. So I want to share with you guys that it's certainly the last show for the year. For those of you who've been watching us, you know that Tasha and I, we typically go on hiatus when we get to this time of the year. It's holiday season. We're celebrating Thanksgiving next week, and we've got Christmas, New Year's. So we had made it a thing, especially over the last year or so, to start to take those mental health breaks, to give ourselves that time to recharge. But on a larger scale, I will share with, my viewers that creatively, I'm just burned out. I'm tired. It's been a very tough year. So I'm going to be brutally honest and transparent that I don't know that Real Talk will come back in its current iteration. So I don't want to make this as a sad thing in any stretch of the imagination. I see Terrence. What's going on? T, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for joining. And even we're going to have a little fun tonight. Tonight, what are we talking about? Just for the record, then I'll get into it. I just figured we do something really light, because I don't have a whole lot planned. So Tasha and I, we're going to be talking about the wonderful world of TikTok, the fuckery and the foolishness. So there's no specific plan. So I do see some people watching. I appreciate you guys for what will be the last show of the year. But I will share with you, getting to this time of the year with so much that's going on this year, creatively, I'm at my wit's end. It's been a tremendously tough year. For those of you who may not know that I've started a doctoral program between working, school, creatively, and even if you've noticed the last few months, even our panel has dwindled down to where it's back to me and Tasha. That's no disrespect to anybody else, because life is steadily lifing, as we know. So people are working, they're doing other things, and God bless them. So for those of you who are not here, love you. You will always be a big part of the memories of what we've done here at Real Talk. But if I do come back in 2026, I'm going to do some things different, and that may look very different. So I will pretty much say that Real Talk, as it has been in its present form, it will be something different. I've done relationships. I've talked them to death. I'm still going to always have my opinions on that. But I don't want to go back to that same format of having this, that, and the other. Got to do something different. So I've got to use this time off to kind of recharge, recreate myself, and to see where I feel in 2026. So hope to see you guys there. For those of you who ride with me. And if you don't know, I will still be a regular active member of TFG Tonight with Brenton Hayes. So I enjoy doing that very much. So I will continue to do that until I guess I get tired of doing that. All right. Tasha.
Yeah.
As we get into this, we'll save our plans for the holiday season to the end. But I figured that we would really just kind of do some TikTok stuff. So if you have anything specific that you want to see and highlight, please let me know. But what we're going to do, Terrence, CC, I appreciate you guys being here. So you guys are the best. You're the most loyal, stable, best people I could have ever imagined. So, and Real Talk, I do it for you. I truly do. I would have given up doing this show probably a long time ago, but I absolutely love interacting with people like you that I've met, friends, your family. You're more than friends to me. You become my social media family. Very important. So I continue to do this because it's for you guys, you know. So anyway, Cece says, hey, Terrence, how you doing? So, okay, I don't know what these videos are going to show, but in typical Real Talk fashion, we're going to play, and this is a part of, what is it called, Tasha?
What, am I the asshole?
The asshole series. But I may flip around throughout this and show whatever pops up in my feed. Tasha, if you got anything funny, please send it to me. And of course, we'll discuss. So for right now, this is the Am I an Asshole feed, and we'll play the clip, and then Tasha and I'll discuss. And as always, Terrence, Cece, we'd love to hear your comments. Any of you watching, we'd love to hear your comments as well. So don't know what this is going to be about. It says, for wanting nothing to do with my friend after she lost her baby. Okay, this might be interesting. And since this one is kind of a long one, I may stop it in parts. It depends, or I may let it play all the way through. But am I the asshole? Am I an asshole? Here we go.
Nothing to do with my friend after she lost her baby. Yes, I'm aware that my hair looks a damn mess. I'm in the process of redoing my hair. I decided to take a break and record you guys a story. You're welcome. I am such an asshole sometimes, but also this story has a trigger warning. It mentions child loss or miscarriage. So if that's something that's too hard for you to hear, or you just don't feel like hearing that right now, scroll on and we'll see you in the next story. So my friend and I have been close since we were kids, more like family, actually. We always shared everything with each other, and we were always the first ones to reach out whenever there was something new in our lives. When I was pregnant, she was the first person to know after my mom. We cried together. We laughed together. I even shaved her butthole once. We're not lesbians. I'm just explaining how close we've always been. Now that's really close, because I would describe me and my best friend as close, but ain't nobody shaving nobody's butthole. But I know if I asked her to, I feel like she would, if I had a good reason. Anyways, she got married a long time ago. I was also her maid of honor. We remained super close, even though she did move away because her husband lived in a city that was a 2-hour drive away. We still chat on a daily basis. So out of nowhere, she calls me crying to come to the hospital where she is. I go there and I find out she lost her baby. In the moment, I was absolutely devastated for her. I didn't even know that she was pregnant, but I asked no questions. It wasn't about me. She had suffered a big loss, and all I could do was help. So I did what anyone would do as family. I stayed with her. I took care of her. I slept in the same bed with her for a while to comfort her and be there for her as much as I was needed. I even bathed her and fed her like she was a little baby. It really broke her very severely, and it was heartbreaking to see this happen. I don't think you're the asshole. I don't. You said that you and your friend talked on a daily basis, but you had no idea she was even pregnant. But you were the first person that she called when she needed someone. I don't think you're wrong. My feelings would be hurt. Also, where the fuck is her husband? Why are you the one sleeping in the bed with her? Why are you the one that's bathing her and feeding her and being there for her? Where's her husband? Now fast forward, she's fine. Of course, you never really get over such a loss, but it seems like she's starting to heal and accept. Me, on the other hand, I want to slowly take a distance from her. Reason being, she was 7 months pregnant. 7 months. And we were talking to each other on a daily basis, and never once did she mention it. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I could have honestly excused it if she hadn't told anyone, because yes, people have a right to their privacy. And if her and her husband want to keep it a secret, okay, sure. Yes, it would hurt because I shared it immediately with her, but everyone has their own personality and the way that they deal with things. So fair enough, no hard feelings. The issue is everyone knew. Everyone but me knew. A mutual friend even told me that she was requested to not tell me because she would just rather me not know. Girl, nah, this girl was not your friend. I don't know when it changed, but at some point, she stopped being your friend. The plan was to only inform me when the baby shower would happen for a gift grab. She didn't want you to know about the baby. She was going to tell you before the baby shower happened to make sure that you brought a gift, because it would be expected as the best friend to bring the best gift for the baby. 9 times out of 10, she would have cut contact with you after the baby was born any fucking way. Going through all of this to stop you from knowing she's even pregnant she would have cut contact with you the moment she gave birth. Then it also clicked to me why she was avoiding seeing me. Yes, a 2-hour drive is nothing simple, and we're both extremely busy, but it never reached the point of us not seeing each other for months at a time. But every time I'd come up with an idea, she had a reason why it couldn't happen. I didn't ever think something like this was possible, and I still don't get it. I've always been her biggest supporter. I've always been so happy for her when good things happen. Anyways, this just made me realize she doesn't see me the way that I see her. She needed my help, and I would never kick someone who's already down, especially when I care about that person. But now that she's okay, I just don't want to have anything to do with her. I'm really just turned off from this entire friendship. Her purposely wanting to hide things and even wanting people that she's not close to not tell me as if I'm some kind of enemy. On top of that, lying to me every day. The amount of times that she claimed to have gotten her period, that would be my problem too. The amount of time, energy, and effort that you put into keeping your best friend from finding out that you're pregnant. That would be a done deal for me because whatever the beef is, clearly we do not need to be friends anymore. My family says I should be first having a deep conversation about it before cutting her off because we didn't talk about it. I personally don't even feel like I want to discuss it. Whatever the reason might be, I don't think it would be good enough for me. I didn't ask any questions or make comments when I was with her because my main focus was her well-being. So am I the asshole? According to my other friend, I'm being a bitch for wanting to cause her another loss. No, baby, you're absolutely not the asshole. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Believe them. She spent 7 months, the better part of a year, actively keeping you from finding out that she's pregnant.
Okay, I'm going to stop it there.
I hate that girl right there. I hate the way she does the stories.
So right off the bat, I agree because it took me a while to figure out, was this story about her, you stupid bitch, or was you? So she's reading Am I the Asshole sent to her and interjecting her thoughts in all at the same time. So
which is why I don't listen to any of them that she does because that's all she does. I hate that.
So good to know because I got some more pulled up. So again, it would have been a great story if you had just told the fucking story straight the way through. And then I'm okay with sharing your opinion, but okay, let's unpack what actually happened because to be clear, she's reading somebody that sent it to her. Now, right off the bat, a couple of people who was listening to that, let me get that. CC, Terrence said, CC, how you doing? Of course. Blue, being yourself says, what's up? Good to have you. Great to see you. Blue says, damn. And even CC says, what? Because again, as we're unpacking the story, there was a lot going on there. CC says she didn't think you were her best friend. She used you for the relationship. Once she used you. The relationship was one-sided. And then CC, you're agreeing with the lady at the end saying facts. Okay, so right off the bat, the big thing is, was that person an asshole for feeling like at this stage she does not want to have anything to do with this person after this ordeal? So, Tasha, is she an asshole for the way she feels that now she's nursed her back to health, but she don't want to have anything to do with her, and she don't even really want to discuss it at this point?
If you take it at face value of what is being said and of how that one side is, then yeah, of course you could see it being, I would say, yeah, that's an asshole. Your friend is an asshole, definitely. I do feel like there's a lot more missing from that story. There's a lot.
So let me stop you for a second. You feel like the asshole is the girl who lost the baby or the one who don't want to be friends now?
The one that lost the baby for acting how she's acting. Yeah.
She's the asshole. Okay, go ahead. So
I
now
do also think the one who's telling the story from her point of view is being a little bit childish because why not just confront instead of, if you're going to cut it off anyway, why not just confront it? Why not just confront her and be like, look, I know. So like, what's the, like what was this whole thing for? That's why I think that there's a lot more missing from the story. Something happened.
Okay. I don't disagree with you. I have a little different take on it. CC said, I've never seen this lady or her videos. Me neither.
I hate that lady. I see her all the fucking time.
Well,
I hate that lady.
It's a minute to figure out, well, you interject, so I hate her style.
Yeah.
So let me say this right off the bat. whoever was asking the question, am I an asshole? My answer would be no. Now, Tasha, you say she's been a little bit childish. I can see that in some ways. I can also see where I might react that way.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'll tell you why. I have a simple code that I live by. And ironically, you and I had a conversation today on some similarity here, which Terrence says a true statement. Yeah, I want to make sure. Terrence says true statement. I'm sorry. I'm assuming, Terrence, you're agreeing with me. Cece said, did the so-called friend sleep with her husband? Well, that's where, Tasha, you saying there's a lot more that you feel like is to the story. So I don't know that. Cece, I'm with you and Tasha. On its face value, I love how you said that, Tasha. We only know what we know. It does seem like something is missing, that if you two talked every day, that this best friend would not tell you she's 7 months pregnant, and even go so far as to tell you, your other mutual friends, specifically not to tell you. There's something being left out. So that part, I don't know. Now I'm commenting on her ultimate place she arrived at, saying I don't want to discuss it. Back to what I believe. You and I, Tasha, we've had this conversation many times. That term friend is so relative, now, in terms of what a real friend is. For the record, anybody watching this, that's my best friend. She lives a 5.5 hour drive away. In the 10 years that I've lived here in Atlanta, she's visited me, what is Tasha, 4 times?
Is it 4 times? I don't know.
Okay.
Is it 4 times?
I've been to Memphis
honestly
once.
I don't know.
I've been to Memphis once.
Yeah.
We have managed to maintain a friendship over 10 years. And like any friendship, it's had bumps, ups, downs, it's evolved and changed. Still my best friend. And we talk, and we don't actually even talk every day. But if Tasha called me right now and something was going on and said, Fred, I need you to come, Black, I'm headed there. I have zero doubt if I needed help, I had an operation, I need somebody to take care of me, she's headed to help out. She's going to do, no doubt about it. Now, where I'm going to see a little different side to how this girl came to the end of it, there are some friendships, Tasha, that if I haven't invested enough energy into it and it goes astray and enough time goes by, I don't give a fuck to discuss it either. Because once a certain window closes, where if the friendship takes a hard turn, and I'm dealing with some of this right now, it doesn't matter to me at this point what happened. There is a way to do certain things, even if a friendship takes a turn, that to me I consider proper. And when enough time goes by that it's taken that turn, I'm a person that let's keep it just like it is now. Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
So so for me, it would depend on the depth of the friendship. If I love you and you're my friend, I gotta know what happened. I would want to know what happened.
I think something to like something key here is that it's a friendship with this. Friendships between women are so complicated.
Okay. I'm glad you said that. So I don't pretend. Cece, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. I'm glad you said that, Tasha, because I do think men process friendships different. There's you have to. There's a different emotional attachment and a way we address things. I've said shit that was insensitive, me being a man, and you've made me aware of, okay, and I've had to take that step back.
I think in this case, the fact that the one that was pregnant went so far as to tell everybody around her, don't tell her that I'm pregnant. I think the one who's telling the story said something insensitive about the loss of the child, or
Ooh.
either about not having another baby with the husband, or I think she said something insensitive.
I can see that, because if they talked every day, there does seem to be, there's a reason why you would say, you know what, I'm not even telling her. uh you know Something has been said so hurtful that a wall was put up, that
Mhm.
I'm gonna compartmentalize this one thing and not tell this person about it, because they're, so I agree, there's something missing there. But at the end of the day, based on the face value of it, no, I don't think you're an asshole. But Tasha, you make a good point. Could you maybe, if it's a true friendship, maybe find out, I'm just allowing for the reason that I do agree with one thing, that maybe you two saw the level of friendship in a different way,
Right.
So maybe sometimes we can think this person is my best friend, and they don't see you as a best friend. I
Yeah.
also have people who classify me as, that's my best friend, or my dog, this, that, and the other, but their actions don't live up to that standard.
Yeah.
And I'll say this, and I'll say, this is real talk, as you know. I live by a lot of little sayings. Just because you family doesn't mean you have to be friends. I have family that's family and not friends. I have friends that's friends and more family. Let that sink in. Yeah. All right. Sherry says, hey, Tasha and Cece.
Hey,
Yeah.
Sherry.
So Tasha and I had always planned at some point to do an actual real show on Friends, right, Tasha?
Mm-hmm.
We were going to really, because we hear that so often, my friend this, my friend that, and we know in the social media world, people have thousands of friends. Well, I'm here to tell you, in real life, I don't have very many friends. And I'll say again, I have friends that are more like family, and I have some family that are more like friends. I'll leave it at that.
Leave it there. Put it down.
All right. Cece says, hey, Sherry, let's go to another one. Sis, thanks for popping in. Share my screen again. We're talking about, am I the asshole? So here's another one. So the lady had a bunch of them, but if that's how she's going to do them, we don't want to hear her shit anymore. So
there's two women on. There's another one called, there's a channel in there called Two Hot Takes, I think that's what it is.
Okay.
And they have a lot of the am I the asshole, and they read it all the way through, and then they wait to the end to give their opinion. So,
okay. So I might put, it's called Two Hot Takes. TOO?
TWO.
Okay. I'll check that out. So we'll kind of bounce back and forth. So we'll see what this guy has to say. He's right off the caption says, am I the asshole for divorcing my husband and leaving him with the kid after finding out I'm not biologically the mom? Okay.
For divorcing my husband and leaving him with the kid after finding out I'm not biologically the mom. This is interesting. I can't believe my life has come to this. All I ever do is go out of my way to help others, but on the few occasions I need help, nobody ever comes through for me. I, 36 female, have been with my husband, 35 male, for a total of almost 10 years,
Oh, wow.
married for 7. We had what I thought was my child by surrogate over 2 years ago, because after 4 years of trying to conceive with no success, despite medical interventions, it turns out I am unable to carry a child to term. I had always wanted to be a mom. Devastated is an understatement regarding how I felt when I found out I have a medical condition that would make it nearly impossible to carry a baby to term. It was even more upsetting when I had to get a major surgery to remove uterine growths with the hope to increase fertility, and complications during surgery warranted a partial hysterectomy involving removal of my uterus only. I still have my ovaries, so we started looking at the cost of a surrogate. It's really expensive. My close friend since college, who'd already had 2 kids of her own, offered to serve as the surrogate for us to cut down on costs. It's a good friend. After 2 disappointing IVF sessions that did not result in pregnancy, she became pregnant on a 3rd try and carried a boy to term for us. I was so happy and busy after the birth, between being a mom and returning to work after a 4-week parental leave, so I didn't notice any warning signs. I should have noticed the red flags and warning signs early on, but did not because I was so exhausted from working so much at my stressful job and 2 part-time jobs to cover most of the bills and anticipated medical and legal costs associated with this friend becoming our surrogate. I was a primary breadwinner. My friend and my husband started talking more, and I would sometimes come home from my weekend job to find her already hanging out at our house when my husband was there. I chalked it up as innocuous, and it's good for her to know my husband better since she was in the process of hopefully carrying our child for us. I was grateful to have someone helping us have a child. I also thought it weird that our son had brown eyes when both of us have blue. Then I found out that while this is uncommon, it's possible sometimes due to many genes controlling eye color. Recently, it all came to a head when I took our son to a doctor's appointment and they did metabolic panel and blood tests, which showed that he had a blood type that is not biologically possible to have with me as his mother. He's B+, I'm A+, husband is O+. Immediately, I started worrying it was the fertility clinic's fault and that they'd messed up and implanted a wrong embryo. I started lining up lawyer consultations to possibly sue the clinic and looked into having a DNA parentage test done. The test results showed that I'm not the mother, but my husband still is the father. Whew, getting crazy. I was heartbroken and angrier than ever. Talked to lawyers about medical malpractice in the fertility clinic we'd used. Then my husband confessed that he'd slept with my friend, our surrogate, on a few different occasions during our struggle to have her get pregnant with our embryos. That's a damn shame. This means what I thought was our son conceived by IVF and carried with a surrogate isn't my son at all and was in fact conceived the old-fashioned way, which I can't ever do. Livid and absolutely broken at the same time doesn't even begin to describe how I feel. I've been breaking down in crying spells over and over again about this. He claims he didn't ever think pregnancy could result because he pulled out and he had always assumed that he was the reason for our earlier struggles to conceive, both before my hysterectomy and during the IVF insemination process with this friend. I felt an immediate triple betrayal from what was supposed to be my husband, my friend, and now knowing my child isn't even really mine. I had such white-hot rage and delirium, I immediately left home and stayed at a hotel for almost a week before asking my parents to let me stay at home for a while. I admit I left our son with him. I'm now filing divorce because he cheated and betrayed me in the worst possible way. I have also cut off my friendship with my friend, the surrogate, and feel afraid to trust anyone else now. I could definitely see why. I have seen a divorce lawyer to see about giving up my legal rights to this kid so I don't have to face such betrayal or owe child support. My husband and our friend/surrogate admit they were wrong and keep apologizing, but also called me immature and heartless to just give up on my son like that. This is just
finish
so
the
crazy.
story, fuckhead.
My parents also say I can't just give up on a kid that I went through so many legal and medical hoops to have. When I told them I refused to stay in a cheater marriage and I'd rather adopt someday with a better, more trustworthy partner, they also told me I was wrong and that maintaining my parental rights isn't much different than if I adopted outright. Yeah, but it wouldn't be based on betrayal and lies. They said it isn't blood that makes a family. They are all about me divorcing my cheater husband, but keep telling me I'm making a mistake giving up my parental rights. Some of my other friends agree with what I'm doing. A few admitted they weren't big enough to swallow pride and care for an affair baby or to see daily reminders of my friend/surrogate's betrayal every time I look at her son. I just want a clean break and a fresh start. I'm also looking at relocating several states away. Am I the asshole to give up my parental rights in the divorce because a kid I paid a lot of money to have born by surrogacy isn't biologically mine at all, but the surrogates? I don't think you're the asshole at all.
Okay. All right, you big teeth idiot. you getting on my nerve. Just tell the goddamn story.
I told you. A lot of people can't do it because they get so caught up instead of waiting to the end to share.
That's it. Just I don't have a problem with your opinion, but just tell the whole story. Okay, so let's unpack the story. So you and your husband been together for 10 years, married for 7, 36 years old, if I remember right. And you couldn't have a child, medical reasons, decided to do a surrogate for the sake of cost, economically. This friend volunteers.
Hold on. Let's just stop. Let's just stop right there for a second. Because if every stop wasn't telling you not to do this, you and your husband couldn't get pregnant naturally. You have to go through a surgery. You end up, something goes wrong, and you have a partial hysterectomy. If that wasn't God telling you not to do this, but okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sasha, you cold. Sasha, you cold. But okay. For economic reasons, this friend, clearly a close friend, because who would offer to do that, something that of that nature, to use their body, even though CC is agree with you, she says, right, Tasha, but okay, economic reasons to save money, you decide, you three together, to let this happen. So it's supposed to, I would assume, she was going to be the surrogate, intravenous impregnation. Clearly, you wasn't expecting them to fuck. But okay, the baby is born, baby is healthy. You notice the baby has different color eyes than yours. At some point, it becomes necessary to get some kind of medical procedure where you find out the son is not biologically yours. Your husband's excuse is that he didn't think he could get anyone pregnant because, yes, I've been fucking her.
The audacity. If a man ain't gonna have nothing else, it's the audacity of a man to gaslight you. Like, what?
Oh, that was my favorite part. My favorite part is that, yes, I've been fucking her, but I always pulled out. And since you weren't able to get pregnant with all the things that happened, hey, I thought this was on me. I thought it was, and so I'm just as pleasantly surprised as you are. So, okay, now the baby's here. Now, according to your parents, they're okay with you ending the marriage because they accept that he's a cheater, but they're not okay. They do think you're an asshole for giving up parental rights and not wanting to be in the child's life, because even if you still follow through on your need to be a parent and adopt, because that's with somebody that's faithful, it wouldn't be much different. And basically, you already have a son there, saying you still should apply that love towards this child because it wouldn't be much different. Get rid of the husband, keep the rights towards the son. All right, Tasha. Terrence says, I agree with you too, Tasha. So, Tasha, okay, go ahead.
Let me just say this. You're 36. You're 36 years old. So I couldn't surmise like how old the child was, but you're 36. You are in a prime position to go on and still live a great life. Divorce the husband, get alimony from him, sue the fuck out of your best friend, terminate those parental rights, because that child has nothing to do with you. And if you really want to get technical with it, I don't know about the paperwork for the surrogacy and everything, but the best friend could get petty and decide that she wants to be the mom, but cut ties. And if anything, sue your fucking parents if they keep the shit up too. Sue every fucking body. Do you know how expensive IVF is per treatment?
Yes.
Correct. Thousands of dollars. And then the agreement, the medical costs associated, like with the surrogacy, like with your friend's surrogacy, because most of the time you cover all of the medical expenses, everything. Girl, get out of there. No, you are not the asshole. Fuck that bastard baby. Fuck that bastard that you was married to. And fuck that bitch. All of it. Just fuck everybody. Shit. Leave, bitch. If that you are set up to have a great life, cut all that shit off and go on about your life.
I agree with you 1,000%. But Tasha, this is a person that clearly, to your point, ignored every red flag along the way. And I don't know if you're just naturally gullible or you just want to believe everything. There was other parts in the story when the baby's here. We don't know how old the child is, but you're working a regular job and 2 part-time jobs.
He wasn't
Now,
shit.
I was doing a little bit, she said she took 4 weeks off for parental. God bless you, took that time off. But you're the primary breadwinner. I'd like to know more about that. But you overlooked the fact that you would come home and the friend would be there with the husband, and your thoughts was, okay, I guess I can see this because they do need to get close since she's going to be the surrogate. Even for that, I got a question for Sherry, Cece, Tasha, all y'all watching as women. And is it me?
It's not you.
Okay, you know what I'm about to ask, right? What am I about to ask?
Like, you how would you feel about a woman being around your man like when you're not at home?
To even choose her as a surrogate. Would it not have been better? So maybe I'm looking at it wrong. You're right. So I'm glad you brought up the cost of it. But to me, you kind of opened the door the moment you let a friend become the surrogate, because you kind of, right from the outset, from the birth of this, are running the risk of this person at some point saying, this came out of my body, and wanting to make some decisions versus having a stranger. Am I wrong?
Nope, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. The whole thing is just equals stupidity and a damn fool. Just a damn fool. Like, I get you. Like, you really think that your friend is your friend, and you would think that they would never do some shit like that.
Thank you, and thank you for validating that, Cece. Because from the moment you said a friend volunteered, I thought that was a little bit weird. If I'm married to somebody and a friend volunteered, maybe it's the conspiracy person in me, Cece and Tasha and Sherry. But I would be thinking, if I'm the wife, damn, has she been looking at my man? Why would you want to have a baby, share a child with my husband? And how could you be okay with that? And Cece says, Tasha, I agree. Everybody is slimy as fuck in this.
Everybody.
I agree. And I don't understand the parents telling you, Tasha, I love what you said. You're 36. You're super young. Okay, I get that you can't biologically have a child. Go forward, free yourself. In a way, they kind of did you a favor now at this point. You made all these mistakes, but cut your cord on all of this shit. Like Cece says, oh, hell no, she can't be around when I'm home. I've always had one simple rule, Cece, when I was married, and even when I've been dating somebody, there would never be a reason for me to come home and my friend, I'm talking about my friend as a man, I'm saying this as a man, to be waiting for me. Notice I said waiting for me, let alone in my motherfucking house. If I pull up and you're sitting in the yard waiting for me, and my girlfriend or wife is home, you're only going to do it once. That's it. Because when you pass through and you saw that my car wasn't there, if you're my boy, my dog, enough to be visiting me, you got my fucking number.
Right.
Text, call, hey man, I was in your area. I was going to stop through. Where you at? What time you going to make it home? But don't you fucking wait on me. You know. And so Cece says, yeah, she surely has been looking at your man. He clearly was looking at her ass too. Cece. Terrence says, I like both of you guys' take on that. Thank you, Terrence. That's why I said this is just a fucked up situation from the beginning. She said, man, if a friend of my husband came over to see him and he wasn't home, that's a no. He can't. Thank you, Cece. That's kind of an unwritten rule. Now I know sometimes people think, oh, I'm not looking at him that way, or no, she just, that's why, about I let her in. Tasha,
I would even go so far as this. That wasn't the first time that they was fucking around.
Yes.
They didn't wait to decide that, oh, the IVF ain't working. Let's just do it the old fashioned way. No, the fuck, no. And if
You
I'm
know
not
what?
mistaken, if you're doing IVF, I don't think you're supposed to be fucking separately anyway.
You know how
As
I
a
believe,
surrogate?
though you're right? Him and a friend, he already had cried on her pillow and told her already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, me and her, we can't. That was his work in, Tasha. That's her best friend, and you've gone through all this stuff, but you know what his end was? I just really want a child, blah, blah, blah. I say she can't do it. Because that is what led to her even suggesting it. They already was mingling in some way.
Having that pillow talk. Yeah.
Yep,
And was like, well, why don't you, it probably was the husband and the best friend that was like, well, why don't you tell her that you'll be the surrogate? Why don't you tell her? Why don't you tell her that? Because I'm also offended for her because you running around here, you working 3 jobs, and the only thing that's working on him is his dick. Apparently, that's the only thing that's working. And the hell are they working with you? Shit, I'm offended for you.
That's what I say, lady, whoever you are, you're not an asshole. You will be a continued dummy if you don't pick up your shit and walk away. Because as Tasha and Cece says, leave all that shit behind. They are the biological parents. What are we talking about here? Go, be happy, raise this kid together. Like you said, Tasha, sue this bitch for breach of contract and for whatever
and
you can.
Alienation of affection, get alimony from his ass, and leave the child, so then you're not stuck paying child support. So yeah.
Do it now. Do it now, lady. Do it now. Okay. All right. I did pull up the 2 hot takes one, so I'm interested to see. I'm just going to pick a random story to see what this one's like, and I'm going to give a choice here, Tasha. What Cece says, lady, that ain't your baby. I agree, Cece. It's literally not your child in any way. In this case, this is not one of those stories where the baby will grow up and then one day he want to know who his biological parents. Motherfucker, your biological parents are here.
It's right there. They right there. Dumb and Dumber.
That, take me out of it at this stage. See, I'm with you. Okay, there's a couple of stories you got. Leaving my boyfriend for no reason. My boyfriend's brother is asking us to break up or he walks out the family. My boyfriend's joke at dinner made me realize he's been lying about his job for 8 months. Our camping trip from hell. I overheard my boyfriend say I'm not his usual type. Out of those, which one catches your attention?
Oh, shit, really, except for the camping trip one, any of those, really. I'll leave it to you to decide.
I want to hear, I overheard my boyfriend say I'm not his usual type.
Okay.
For some reason, that has some oomph to it that I want to know what's going on. But Cece, thank you. She said she agreed with me that, yeah, walk away. Okay. This one, again, I don't know how these stories break down, but let's see. Yeah, there we go. Sharing screen. All right. 2 hot takes.
Overheard my boyfriend, 27 male, and his family insulting my background and looks. I'm thinking of ending things over this.
See, already from the jump, bye. Yeah, I would leave them too.
I, female, have been dating Mark, 27 male, for 5 months. I met him at a bar while I was out with friends, and we immediately hit it off. Dating him has felt like a dream, and I feel so fortunate to have found someone so funny, smart, handsome, and kind. He met my family, and they instantly fell in love with him. They're thrilled I found such an amazing partner. He constantly tells me how much he loves me, how perfect I am, and he can't believe he finally found the one. Last week, we drove to meet his family. I was already a little self-conscious and nervous because Mark comes from a very wealthy and well-educated family. Both of my parents are blue-collar workers and are considered lower class. I grew up in West Virginia and worked incredibly hard to earn a scholarship to UMD after high school. After graduation, I moved to DC and I found a job that pays pretty well. I'm proud of how far I've come, considering my family's circumstances. Still, I sometimes feel like an outsider who doesn't quite fit in with the upper class society. I'm also self-conscious because the women Mark dated before me were extremely beautiful. His most recent ex has a massive social media following and easily could be a model. I consider myself a little above average and invest a lot of time and money into my appearance. When we arrived at Mark's family's house, everyone was welcoming and kind. I felt ridiculous for ever being nervous and began to relax, feeling like I was fitting in just fine. We spent most of the time outside on their patio with people filtering in and out to grab food, drinks, and socialize. I didn't notice when Mark and his sister, Emily, 31 female, disappeared because I was caught up with chatting with everyone. When I got up to use the restroom and walked through the house, I heard hushed whispers from another room. Immediately, I recognized Mark's and Emily's voices, and I heard my name mentioned. I stopped and listened for a couple of minutes and was devastated by what I heard. Emily said she was surprised he's dating me because I'm not nearly as established or attractive as his previous partners. She went on to say, quote, "Didn't you tell us her family basically lives in a trailer park and her dad doesn't even have a high school diploma?" Followed by laughter. I waited for Mark to defend me. Instead, he agreed with her. He said he considers me cute, that my personality makes up for my appearance and family, and that I'm definitely not his usual type, but that he really loves me and is happy we found each other. She ended the conversation with, quote, "We're all just surprised. She's not what we were expecting. As long as you're happy, I guess."
You know what I would have done? I would have busted down the door and I would have said, "Keep my name and my family's name out of your mouth, you weirdo." The second you start talking about me is fine. The second you start talking about my family, saying I'm from a trailer park, okay, and what if I am? I'll show you what's up. I'll show you what's up real bad. And you're going to wish you never fucking said that, you weirdo. Fuck you, Emily. Sorry.
The post goes on to say, I felt numb for the rest of the day and put on a show for his family, pretending everything was fine. When we got in the car to leave, I told him I'd overheard his conversation with Emily. I began crying and said their words confirmed everything I'd feared about our relationship. I told him I needed space and time to think. He kept apologizing and telling me how perfect he thinks I am, how Emily has always been a bully, and how beautiful he finds me. This was 5 days ago. At first, he respected my space and checked in with texts that I didn't answer. Now, he's in full panic mode, constantly calling, texting, and begging to come over to talk in person.
Good. Thank you. And leave it that way. Leave it that way. Because if he's not going to stand 10 toes behind you and defend you to his sister, who's a quote unquote bully, then he's not your man. He is not your man.
He's not the normal person with her. The normal person is another lady, and she's normally very quiet.
It ain't nothing like having a messy gay guy chiming in. Oh, he's the best. I don't know if he's she need to keep him. I will watch him. So, okay. Before we comment, Tasha, Cece says, "Girl, get your life. Leave that fool. He really don't want you. You're just a charity case for him. He just wants to walk on the other side to see what it's like." Interesting. She says, "Maybe you're a freak in the bed, not like the uppity bitches that are ice queens." Cece, quick question. He says he loves her. He says he finds her beautiful. You still think that he's... Hold on. Go,
he said cute.
Okay, you're right. You're right. You're right. But in a car, I guess he kind of confirmed that he thinks she's perfect, blah, blah, blah. And does it matter, y'all, that he respected her space initially and that he's now panicking? He want to talk in person. He could eat. Does it matter to y'all? I'm looking at you, Tasha. Let me get it out first, baby.
Okay, go ahead.
Does it matter that he could easily walk away, but he is clamoring to see her? So to me, there is clearly an attraction. Now, Cece, I don't know if it's the wildness, the sexiness, or he's trying the other side or whatever, but I'm asking a question, y'all. How important is it then that what his family feels versus what he feels? Tasha, tell me.
Well, let me just say this. It's not even so much that she's not his type. Like, even if he told her himself that you're not usually someone that I date, that's one thing. It's the fact that here you have me meeting your family, which I'm only assuming for the first time meeting.
Right.
And it's very clear, obviously, you've mentioned me. Now you and your messy ass family is talking about me when I leave the room. The first chance I get, I leave the room. Y'all didn't even have enough respect for me to text this shit in a group fucking message or wait till I leave the house completely. You knew I just had to go pee real quick. And you knew I was coming back eventually. And it's a possibility I could have stumbled across it. And what makes it worse is that you decided in the moment when everybody's talking, you being the guy, you decided in that moment to not defend me. You felt that it was okay to laugh. You doubled down on it. So you didn't even stand up for me. You didn't even check your sister and be like, hey, bitch, don't say that shit. You didn't even say that. You didn't do none of that. And now we in the car. Now you ain't talk to me for a few days. No, go ahead and keep the exact same energy. Don't say shit to me. Don't say shit to me.
God, I wish I had some. I wish other men. Terrence, if you still on, please comment on this. To me, Tasha, CC, hold on. I want to make sure I get CC story. She said, maybe you're a freak in the bed, not like the uppity bitches that, okay, I'm sorry about that. She says, that's his ego talking. Poor little rich guy doesn't like rejection. I wish I had more male's opinion on here because Tasha, in all fairness, she snooped. She was snooping. She was going to the bathroom. She overheard something and she stopped and listened.
That was God. That was God. Okay, let's just be very clear. That was discernment. She felt it in her spirit. Okay, that was God. That's what that was.
Oh, God. And I don't. The conversation she overheard defend you. I don't see it as that bad that he laughed, and he could. I think two things can be true, y'all. His family have their views that she's not your usually type, and didn't you tell us this, that? To your point, Tosh, this is probably the first time they visit. They only been dating 5 months, and I could see him telling his family, yeah, well, now, because, I'm dating somebody new. Oh, but well, now they pour her back on. I don't think her father, because I imagine them asking questions. I'm okay that he found it funny in a way that they said, the father don't see you shaking your head. Well, the father don't even have outputs. I would have laughed too. And maybe that's not the right time to defend her if how it ended. No, hold on. Look at your face. At the end, they even said, but if you're happy, I guess. I'm okay with that, Tasha, because here's my thing. You ain't got to be with her. You get ready to go in. You ain't got to be with her. They're saying that, look, brother, I wouldn't have picked her for you. My sister's on here too. I can't read to hear I'm going to read what she say. But my thing would be if my sister or family said, well, look, I don't like her. You know why I'm feeling this way, Tasha? That happened to me. That happened to me, that I brought somebody home that was absolutely rejected by my family, but it was my choice. Okay. I'm gonna let you go, Tasha, but Tasha Sherry says it was meant for her to hear that, kick him to the curb. She was snooping. Okay, y'all all say right. She was snooping to me. And then Cece's gonna say, I guess.
I guess, right. Thank you, Cece, because I was getting ready to say that. I guess.
Cece and Tasha, his family's not she's dating him. His family doesn't have to like her.
That's where you're wrong, because apparently his family, obviously, like, they have an opinion that does matter to him. And if they're supposed to be so rich and everything, it's so uncouth and so tacky to have that conversation when you have a guest in the house. She was not uncouth. I said it. It was uncouth. It was impolite. You're supposed to have all this money and everything, and you just said, like, wow. I imagine this is how the conversation went. Wow, I can't believe, like, you're actually, like, dating her. That is not someone that you just would normally just be with. Didn't you say that her dad didn't have a high school diploma? Yeah, it is. I mean, she's cute or whatever, but I love her. This is what I heard. This is what I heard. But if you're happy, I guess. When I hear someone say that, let me translate it for Black people. If you like it, I love it. That means you a damn fool. I heard it. That's exactly what the fuck it means. That's exactly what the fuck it means. No, this would lead to further problems on down the line in their relationship because the sister already has these preconceived notions that she doesn't fit into the family. So no, girl, it don't matter what he feels. And he said that you were cute. Girl, please. No, fuck
What
him.
the fuck is wrong with saying you're cute?
No, she's cute. He didn't say that she was beautiful. He didn't say that she was attractive. He said that she was cute. A puppy is cute. A butterfly is cute. A picture, a keychain.
Wow. Oh, wow. For the record, Terrence agrees with me. Terrence said, so I agree with you, cousin.
Terrence. No, I'm just kidding.
So, oh my God. Cece says his family already has someone in mind for him, son of a rich girl. Exactly. All of that might be true. I'm not denying that. Sherry says, I would have cursed everybody out, mama, too. No, sis, because you were eavesdropping, and that was a private conversation that you eased in on. You wasn't supposed to hear that. And I think people do talk messy regardless of the circumstances. She said, come on, Tasha. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Sherry, yep. Don't talk. Don't be mad.
Damn,
you're absolutely right.
Babies and monkeys are cute.
Exactly. They're gonna have their opinion, but it's messy and it's nasty to have that conversation when that person is in the house, when it's a possibility that someone could overhear you. And Sherry's absolutely right. I would have busted in. Oh, so that's the type of thing. Take me home. I would have knocked the vase and everything over on the way out, and then see how cute some shit really is.
I get that. I get that. I get Terrence, my cuzzo. Oh my God. And even the gay guy saying, oh my God, this, that, other. I didn't think it was all that wrong. And I'm going on to how it ended. He clearly likes her. Maybe she isn't his normal type because you do Tasha, well, I'm asking, you do sometimes date somebody that's not your normal type, but a make up for it in other ways that maybe physically. Have you ever dated someone that physically this is not who I would go for? So I just want to establish that part, right?
Yes, but tell it to the person that you're dating. Don't have that conversation as sticker in private. That shit's not cool.
Well, he clearly is with you because he likes you, and then he says, "No." He says, "No, look, I think you're cute, and I think you're beautiful." As y'all always tell us, beauty shit is in other ways or whatnot. We shouldn't be looking on the outside. So Cece, cute is a compliment.
Cute is not. Cute is not. If a man says that you're cute, then then it's just that. Then it's just okay. You're just you're just that. You're just cute.
Wow. Lord. She said they weren't supposed to say that in her presence. That Cece, that wasn't in her presence. They were saying that in a private conversation in a full another room. They could have waited till she has gone. Tasha, agree with you. I think it's okay to have that conversation. If I'm at a party, a gathering, whatever, and Sherry, you walk in with somebody, and I'm over there talking to Jay, I'm gonna say, "This motherfucker, I don't feel like we have to wait till they gone before I can tell you, before we can say that." Cece said, but she was in the house, Lee,
exactly.
Eavesdropping in a room she shouldn't have had her ass in. So
that the Lord gave her discernment. They should have whispered fucking quieter. Okay, so there you go.
Oh, shit. Okay, so I'm not gonna do the camping trip one. Let's go to either my joke is costing me my marriage, or between these two, my joke is costing me my marriage, or leaving my boyfriend for no reason. And
my joke is costing me my marriage.
My joke is costing me my marriage. This ought to be okay. Hold on. All right. That was an interesting one, though. And the best part for me, though, was the friend.
Right.
She needs him at all of her shares because he is the real deal.
Normally they're quiet. They wait till the very end, but he was jumping at the gate.
And he was so animated with it too that like, fuck that, you know. Okay, 2 hot takes, y'all.
Female made a joke with my husband, 29 male, and it's costing me my marriage with a man I truly love. I need help fixing it. My husband and I have been married for 4 years now. I truly do love him with everything I have. I can't see a life without him. I took some stupid advice from some of my girlfriends regarding a joke that they have done with their husbands or boyfriend. The joke is basically telling your partner that you want to break up or that you want a divorce.
Okay. Whoa.
Well, I never wanted to do it and thought it was cruel to do, especially to someone you love. But I was convinced after they kept pestering me about it, as I was the only one that hasn't done it yet out of the 5 of us. They further convinced me about it when they told me the reactions their partner had afterwards. Stupidly, I did it last week, and my husband's reaction wasn't what I thought it would be. I honestly thought that he would try and talk to me or beg or make suggestions like my friends' partners had done, but he didn't. We had dinner and we were watching a movie when I told him, I'm not happy anymore and I think we should get a divorce. He looked at me for a couple of seconds and I swear it looked like something broke in his eyes. He got up, walked to our bedroom, and within 10 minutes came out with a bag and walked out of the house without saying a word to me. I tried to stop him, especially after seeing him with his bag packed, and I told him it was just a joke and I didn't mean it, but he basically just brushed me off and walked out. I've tried to get a hold of him, messages, calls, emails, video chats, but he isn't answering me at all. I talked to his friends, but none of them want to tell me where he is, when, and if they even answer me. I went to his work, but they refused me entry into the building. I've tried his parents, but they don't want to get involved as well as with his siblings. The only messages I got back were from his sister, telling me, joke or not, I fucked up. I've sent so many messages about it being a joke and even sent screenshots of my conversations with my girlfriends about the joke as a proof that it was a joke and that I'm not backtracking all of a sudden, but nothing. My friends didn't have any real advice and told me to just give him time and that he will get over it. Everything came down on me yesterday when I was served with actual divorce papers.
Oh my God.
It felt like someone slapped me in the face and hit me and continued to hit me. I was and still am in so much pain. I frantically tried to get a hold of him, but all I got back was he has nothing to say and that I should talk to his lawyer. How can I get the man I love back? I don't want to lose him. I made a stupid joke. I know that now, and it's breaking my world apart. This is why you...
Goody.
Oh, that went serious. She said, that's nothing to joke about, fool.
Ever.
Well, I'm not surprised. Yeah.
Ever.
Go ahead,
You
Tasha.
got it. You joked about it. You can never predict what someone's reaction is going to be. Because if he had jumped up and just choked the fuck out of you in the moment, you still would have thought he was wrong.
Or what if that revealed, well, I've been cheating on you anyway, or some other shit. These jokes, there should be a bar to where we see all this shit all the time, and sometimes you see all these jokes. Where do you draw the line? And you're dumb as fuck to allow your friends to convince you to play that joke on your husband. Sherry says, you are just a fool. Your friends cost you your marriage.
I would even go this far too. The friends who were telling you to do this, were they even married, or were they just, or were they just? I was thinking the same thing.
Tasha, I was thinking the same thing. Cece, you said they are not your friends. I'm gonna get serious here, y'all. Why this one hits home for me? And Cece, you nailed it. And Tasha, you said that. How do we know misery loves company? How do we know that this wasn't plotting to destroy your happiness? And they convinced you, kept prodding you to do this. I literally, this is how real this is for me. My marriage ended because of a pause. And I literally had this conversation 3 hours ago. 3 hours ago, I swear to you, on the souls of my true brothers, I had this conversation 3 hours ago. when I was married and my marriage was in trouble, because we don't know what their marriage situation was in that moment. You love him to death and all that kind of stuff. And for the record, I absolutely love my wife. We were going through this rough patch, and I asked a simple question. I said, "Do you want to be in this marriage?" And she paused. Wasn't a long pause, but the pause was long enough to sow the ultimate doubt for me that I wasn't expecting. Now, I'm older now, but I'm being brutally honest and transparent with you. In that moment where I felt like I'm fighting to make sure we are in this marriage, it was devastating that there was a doubt that you wanted to be in it. I can seriously sit here and tell you the pause, it wasn't a minute. It might have been a minute, but the fact that it wasn't an immediate, of course I want to be in this marriage. I was out. I was mentally out in that moment. So when you play a joke like this, something broke in that man, y'all. If he got up and went to that room and packed his bag, something broke inside of him. And for him, clearly, there's no going back. He don't want to talk about it, don't want to hear your excuses. You've been barred from his job. His sister, who might have, how long they said he'd been married, Tasha?
4 years.
So what y'all thought, what he thought was clearly a good marriage, the sister probably was the one that even had enough decency or whatever you want to say, a compassion to reach out and say, you fucked up. And he done. Because how can he ever feel secure and that you wasn't joking? You know, Cece says they aren't your friends, honey. And that's my thing. Real friends would never put you in that predicament to even encourage you to do some shit like that. Terrence says that man needs to get away from her dumb ass. She said, rightly jealous bitches. Do you know every one of my ex-wife's friends, everyone, when we split, tried to link. Everyone. Cece says there were other signs there. There was something wrong, and he saw it. So this was the icing. That's why I'm thinking, Cece, for him to react that way, it resonates with me that something broke inside of him.
I would even say this too. If you don't have that relationship where y'all normally like play elaborate jokes and pranks on each other like this, don't just spring that on someone in the moment with something so heavy. Bitch, you better start with a whoopee cushion and build up that shit.
Absolutely. You don't go from zero to that joke if y'all don't have some kind of history of, we joke on it, because that's a hell of a joke to play. Damn that, but that's so fucked up though, that if taking you at face value and this really and truly was a joke, you've lost your husband. You'll have to live with that. And your friends are telling you, give him some time. Sweetheart, you being served with divorce papers.
Because in all honesty, what would seriously serve her right is for him to move out, have gone no contact, and then serve her with the divorce papers, and then pop up and say, just joking. Now, bitch, how do you feel about that? It's not a joke. It's not a joke.
Wow. Yeah. She said they wanted their marriage to end because of your so-called friends.
Yep.
And Sherry agreed with you, Tasha. Said the joke's on her. Yeah. You know, there's a saying, you play silly jokes, you get silly prizes. All right. That was a good one. Okay, I'm gonna revert back real quick to Am I the Asshole? We got time to get in about two more. Let's get in two more, and then we'll get back to our weekends. Okay. Am I the asshole? That was a good one though. I didn't expect it to be so serious. Shit, that took a turn for me. Okay, all I can see on the screen is because I won't. Here we go.
Because I won't tell my wife what my son. Am I the asshole because I won't tell my wife what my son / her stepson has in his savings from my late wife?
Okay.
Wait a minute.
My wife, 40, and I, 40, have a blended family. I have a 16-year-old son with my late wife. My wife has a 13-year-old daughter and a 12-year-old son with her ex-husband, and they share custody. And we have a 4 and a 2-year-old together.
Okay.
When my late wife was sick, she told me that she wanted a percentage of her compensation she was issued for her medical misdiagnosis to go to our son's savings.
Okay.
She also had a second savings account she wanted to add to it. This was on top of what the two of us had already saved for him before her illness. I honored her wishes and I continued saving for our son's future. This is a promise I made to my late wife that I have stood by. I also promised that I would protect it and make sure it was only and ever for him and no one else. When my present wife and I seriously dated, we talked about what savings would look like for our kids if and when we got married. She knew I had always saved as I had with my late wife. We didn't discuss how much either of us had saved for our existing kids, but we agreed to an amount every month that would be saved for all three. And this was talked about again when we had our children together. Recently, there has been a lot of stress on my wife. Her ex has refused to discuss my stepkid's savings and if he pays anything or not. She also feels like we haven't been able to save enough every month like promised, because it was just one thing after another. There are months we've missed because of things beyond our control, like stuff, mostly things breaking, things for the house, etc.
Okay.
A few weeks ago, my wife told me that we should put all the cards on the table and discuss what all 5 kids have and decide how we process and proceed with making sure everyone gets what they need for their future. I told her that I would be happy to discuss what I have saved for my oldest, but I will not be discussing the money left by his mom. She pushed back on it and said all the money should be taken into consideration. I told her we do not know what all the money is. I said our parents could be saving money for the kids. Her ex might have money for the stepkids. His parents could have money for the stepkids. We can't say for certain what everyone will have at the end of all this. And it's only fair to discuss what she and I have and what we have saved. She told me it sounds like that I don't trust her. I responded by asking why she wants to know so badly. By only talking about what we have saved, we're on an even footing. She told me if I knew everything, then we could focus on the kids who have less from the kids who have more. That our younger two are probably going to be the worst off long term, and that she would be open to combining everyone's money and dividing it evenly. I told her that I was not on board with that and that what my son has from his mom is not going to be shared or used in any of the other kids' savings. We argued about it, but I refused to say otherwise. She feels like that's wrong when we're married. I told her it's not my money, nor is it her money or money that we could or should be assessing. It's from my late wife to our son, and that's all there is to it. My wife said that she feels like I'm keeping her in the dark and not trusting her with something important. She said it cuts her ability to fully engage in conversations we need to be able to have and decisions we need to make as a couple. Am I the asshole? No.
No, you're not.
Okay. I love this one. Tasha.
No, he's not the asshole. His wife is an asshole. She's definitely an asshole. Because you're trying, because honestly, what it sounds like to me is your ex-husband, the wife's ex-husband, has decided that whatever he was doing towards saving, or he's just no longer going to do his part. And you two as a couple, you're going through things financially. So the goals that you had set up for yourselves are not meeting those goals. And now you want to go back and reassess, because not only do you want the 2 kids that you all have together, which I don't even fucking understand why y'all would even fucking do that. You should have had one and been done with it. But you had 2 together. And so now it sounds like she wants all of her kids, plus your son, all the kids to have everything the exact same. And unfortunately, life does not work out that way. He has a completely different mother who had money for him. So that money is for him. You have no bearing. Don't tell her shit about it. She don't need to know about it because she don't need to touch it. Because this is my thing. You want to know about it, but just so then you can finally, she said, so that you can finally assess everything evenly. But if you need to know about it, that means at some point you're going to push for that money to be used.
That's
You're going to
my
try to
thing.
get at it. So no, you need to go back to your funky ass ex-husband and tell him to carry his part.
And Tasha,
Funky
I
bitch.
feel like this all started with the ex. I feel like this all started with the ex saying, well, what is he giving? By the story, you two haven't been able to save what your normally save would be because of life. Based on what you said, just life things breaking, life bills, whatever. You got a blended family. Kids are getting older, they need shit, blah, 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 blah. So whatever you agreed upon, I feel like the ex is telling her as she's going back saying, well, how much did he got for his kids? Well, why don't you ask him? Well, because you've shared with him, well, you know, the oldest son or his oldest son, he already has some money from the ex-wife. You are now trying to change the rules that you agreed to before you even. I love how this story unfolded because he didn't keep anything from her, y'all. You went into this marriage with eyes open, full understanding, but now that things have changed, you want to change the rules and again try to make sure that just because he might be on a better financial standing, that now you want to spread the wealth and tap into that money. That's not fair.
No,
that's not fair.
No, the only thing that she should be concerned with, and that's the thing, like so he agreed, your husband that you're with now, like the storyteller, he agreed with you that whatever y'all are doing for your kids and the two that you and the ones that you have together, that you're going to have that you're going to be putting up and contributing savings to those kids. It is unrealistic. It's so unrealistic to think that a child at the age that he is now, his son with the late ex-wife, it's unrealistic to truly think that you're going to be able to have your kids have the same amount, or if not more, in savings. It doesn't make any sense.
And it's unfair to punish him because y'all two decided to have more kids. So now he got to split his money with a decision you two motherfuckers made. That's unfair. Sherry says it's none of his stepmother's business what his mother put in his savings account for him, nosy, greedy woman. Yeah, that's unfair. Cece says his mama saved for him, not the kids he had with her. His wife didn't plan for any other kids. Correct.
Exactly.
Terrence says, I agree with you, Tasha. And what is her? That's what we're asking, CC.
Exactly.
But that's what we believe. This all started from that ex saying, well, shit, you know, he working, you working, what he contributed. That's not your business. You have your own separate kids. Get what you're supposed to give, motherfucker. Terrence says, I agree with that part too, cousin. That's what, you know, Cece says, look, his mama was looking out for her son, not any future kids. So there's that. So I love, to me in this case, the husband.
Yeah.
He didn't hide anything. I love that he's standing on his ground, that's just that. I'm not going to penalize my son. I'm going to honor my wife's wishes, which you knew about before you even married me. No, he's not an asshole.
It sounds like she wants to know how much that son has in savings, so that she could tell him, well, stop putting money over there and put that extra money over here. When in all seriousness, if life is hitting you that way, maybe if you insist on still saving something for the kids, maybe whatever it is that you were putting towards it, maybe cut it in half, or maybe stop for a few months.
It's that
until
simple.
You get caught back up. But to sit here and say we need to put everything on the table, wow, that's not a liability. That's not a liability that you need to know about.
No. And I applaud him and his ex-wife for thinking ahead and planning for that child's future. And he's not going to jeopardize that. I agree with you, Cece. This is some greed type shit, to be honest with you. And yeah, so no, he's not an asshole. So stand your ground, brother. Bodabo Jack.
What? No.
Stand for the son.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Another one says, am I the asshole for refusing to pay for my stepdaughter's wedding? This ought to be interesting. Sherry says, right, CC. So yeah, we in a full agreement here. Sir,
Yeah.
you're not an asshole. Actually, your current wife is an asshole.
Yes. She's a greedy asshole at that.
Yes, you're right. Yeah. All right. All right.
Oh,
Here we
I've
go.
seen this one.
You
Okay.
seen this one? Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
Hello, everyone. I'm the sucker from the Am I the Asshole for refusing to pay for my daughter's wedding post, okay? Reddit wouldn't allow me, their moderators wouldn't allow me to post an update.
Oh, this is him
Here's
directly.
for you guys who wanted an update on this, okay? The reason I refused to pay for my stepdaughter's wedding is because she lied to me and said I would walk her down the aisle, but instead she told her in-laws at dinner while I was present that she actually wanted her deadbeat father to walk her down the aisle.
Ooh.
Now, my fiance claimed that he's apparently verbally abusive and refused to pay child support. And a lot of shit has happened since then. So we got a lot to talk about. Now, I probably should have mentioned this in my previous post, but I had nothing to do with the planning of the wedding, nor did I want to plan the wedding.
Okay.
It was all my fiance and stepdaughter's planning. Well, a lot of you guys have been concerned about the price of the wedding, okay? And you made me concerned. So some of you guys have asked about it. And so I asked my fiance about the planning of the wedding. And I came to the conclusion that from asking her that I've just been a check to my fiance and stepdaughter this entire time. Now, the planning, the actual wedding itself, it costs $40K, which I understood because there are over 400 plus guests, okay? But the rest of it was $160,000 spent on a honeymoon to Dubai. And in this list of people, it had my fiance, her sister's family, my stepdaughter, her man, along with his family. And this invitation disgusted me. Her deadbeat fucking father. At that point, I went ballistic. I never agreed to pay for no honeymoon, only for a fucking wedding. And the money was supposed to be for the newlyweds. And my fiance said this so calmly and expected me to be okay with it. You understand? Paying for somebody else's holidays. How can she say this shit so calmly to invite a man that she claimed who refused to pay child support and said he was verbally fucking abusive? You understand? So I lost my cool, needless to say. I told her that her and her daughter took advantage of me and my money, and they were selfish, especially to leave their two young daughters along with me. I work more than 40 plus hours a week on my business. You understand? I don't know where she got the idea to invite her family the way she did, and the dude actually tried to lay his hands on me years ago. He lucky he's alive today. You understand? So anyway, I told her, you and your daughter got 7 days to get out of my house. Woo! And she started this circus act, but there was no going back. I started the process of moving forward. I changed all of my card pins so no more of my money could be usurped from me. And I began the refund process. I contacted all the venues. They were actually really nice, but it'll take a couple of working days, maybe a week or so for me to get my refund. Now for the tickets to Dubai, let's just say I'm a lucky asshole because they actually gave me the refund for the tickets, which was $75,000, okay? Now the tickets were unused and that brought excitement to me. Now, it hurt thinking about how these people who haven't worked as hard as me thought it would be a good idea to use my hard-earned money on first-class tickets to Dubai. My fiance told her daughter that I refunded the wedding, and she didn't take it well at all. I won't go into too much detail about that, but because I've talked long enough, but I was petty. And I told her that your real dad can pay for it. This has been a shit show of the last few months. I can't see my two young children every day now, and I've lost my fiance, but that's okay. But the good news is I got a son who's 25, who just had a baby, who chose to give his son my surname. At least that's showing some appreciation for me. You understand? At least somebody appreciates me. But I'm telling you, man, I'll never do this again. I was played, and I didn't go into even half of all the things that they spent money on. You understand? But that's for all of you guys asking for an update. Let me know what you guys think. Peace.
Damn. Right off the rip, I want to know what the fuck does he do for a living that from the gate? Go ahead, Johnson.
I thought if I remember correct, because it's been a while. If I remember correctly, I thought it was like real estate or finance or something like that. I can't remember. But yeah, it was some mess. It was very, very, very obvious that he was being used for his money. Because this is a stepdaughter that he thought that he had like a good relationship with, and he really was blindsided by the fact that she was like, "No, I want my real dad to walk me down the aisle." So and it
Who
just
does
went
that though,
from there.
Tasha? Is that not the dumbest shit? Hold on, baby. Is that not the dumbest shit in the world? Wait a minute. This man, had he not been disrespected, he feeling some kind of way because you decided to not let him walk down the aisle, but he actually would have been okay, it sounds like, with $140,000 wedding that he had no part planning in, that y'all had invited your boyfriend's family, first class, this, that, and other, and you choose to disrespect him by bringing in a guy that he got into an altercation with in the past, that you have even told him that was verbally abusive and a dead fucking beat, but you think it's okay to bring his ass to Dubai and put him in a place of honor to walk this little ungrateful bitch down the aisle. You two bitches is both dumb, the daughter and the mother. What part did y'all not think? One, you the fiance, get married first before you do dumb shit, sweetheart, because now you don't get to be a wife. He's moving on. That man hurt. That man hurt for real. And daughter, who the fuck you think you are? Lori Harvey? Are you fucking kidding me? I'm with you, Cece. What kind of wedding is this? She says, "Oh, brother, you did right. I wouldn't either. You are not." He clearly is not even an asshole. If anything, I won't call him a fool. I can't call him a fool. He clearly was in love, but yo, dude, she was a gold digger, sir. Absolutely. Sherry says, hold on. Sherry says, why are you looking for your stepdad to pay for anything when her deadbeat dad is living and you want him to walk with you, bitch? You crazy? Sis, that's what I'm saying. Y'all didn't think this through. Says mom and daughter played homeboy, but they lost way more than just the wedding being canceled. Tasha, if you're right, and this dude got that kind of money and thought he had an honest relationship and was enough that he wanted to walk you down the aisle, are you fucking kidding me? Say he really loved that woman or he was a fool. That's what I'm saying, CC. And I do hurt for him. I heard the pain in this man's voice. That's fucking insane. Well, clearly we all think he's not the asshole, but damn. Sherry says, smart man. These two bitches trying to play you, brother. Absolutely. But you know, I come from a retail background, and we had a simple rule in retail. Sometimes when I used to run my stores, if a customer comes through, don't talk shit until you get what you need out of me first.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, Tasha? You and I both come from that world. She said, I'm glad he recouped his losses. Why would you not? Yeah. I'm sorry to say it this way. Why would you not both of you bitches? Why would you not close the deal? Do you know what you could have done if you truly the bride herself, if you truly wanted your dad to be there? You could have paid for his ticket, and he could have came. This guy could have walked you down the aisle, the stepdad, and if you truly, I want my father to be there, blah, 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 he's paying for all of the other tickets, folks. If it was just that important, why not then just pay for this deadbeat's fucking ticket or tell him, hey, everything else is paid for. You know what I'm saying? You pay your way and come. Your daughter wants you to be there, blah, blah, blah. But that's just fucking stupid. Y'all don't know how to close a deal.
That was the assumption that, to me, it really sounds like it's an assumption from the fiance that you really thought that he was never going to leave you alone. You really thought that he was going to be there forever.
You know, that's crazy. One last one. It's at 9:30, but one I'm gonna get screening. One last one. Cece says both could have walked her. I didn't even think about that. Both. What if I'm the stepdad though? I wouldn't have went for that, Cece, but this is an option. Both could have walked her down the aisle, and her bio dad could have just went home or paid for himself. I wouldn't have wanted to see me, Cece, if I'm paying for everything. I would have wanted to share that honor unless he wasn't a deadbeat dad. If the dad was truly in her life and all that kind of stuff, and I had got into an almost altercation with this motherfucker years prior, yeah, maybe I could see we're both her father. She's getting married. We're going to share this honor together. Right? There's no rule saying that you have to do it a traditional way. But if I'm paying for everything, CC, okay. She said that's what she meant. Yeah. No. If I'm paying for everything, I can't stop you from coming. I wouldn't even want to stop you if you're paying your own way. If my stepdaughter says, well, you know, I want my father to be there. I'm not standing in the way of you continuing to have a relationship with your father, but I'm not paying for it.
Right.
That's just fucking absurd. You know, that's fucking absurd. Okay, one more, Tasha, I'm gonna let you pick it. This one says, am I the asshole for telling my fiance that her? I don't know what it says. Another one says, am I the asshole for keeping my money for college? Let's see. Okay, those things. The other ones, it's a whole lot of reading. So those are two. Out of those two, which one, McMack?
I do the first one since it was cut off.
Okay, because I don't know what that one is about. Let's see. Okay, let me go back to it real quick. I'm sorry. Okay, let's see. Okay, I gotta scroll. Okay, here we go. Share screen. Last one, and we will close this mother hubba out. Okay, here we go.
Am I the a-hole for telling my fiance that her 77-year-old dad can't come over our house no more? Because she seems to think so. She put me in the doghouse, and I don't think I'm wrong. I had just got done running errands all over Chicago for like 5 hours, and I finally got home. I just wanted some peace. And she was like, can my parents come over? I said that, yes, yo mama can. Yo daddy, hell no. He don't know how to sit down. This dude is like a black superhero. He's 77, walks 3 miles a day, benches 250, leg presses 800 pounds. Hell no. No, black Popeye cannot come here. I got this thing where I don't like having people come over my house if my house is dirty. All right, we had Cinnamon Toast Crunch crumbs and Fruity Pebbles all over the floor because kids. We had a sink full of dishes, again, because kids. And then we had a living room full of boxes because Kim has an addiction to Amazon. Yes, I'm snitching on you, Kim. Stop ordering shit. I did not feel like cleaning the house or going through judgment, so I told her no, right? And she hit me back with, if my parents can't come over, I'm putting the lid on the cookie jar. No more cookies. It's sealed. You can't just do that to a man, okay? Especially after the cookie jar been open this whole time, and I could just walk up and take a cookie whenever I wanted to. Now you're gonna put a lid on it and seal it? No, that's not okay. That is immoral. That is wrong and unscrupulous. And I would not go back to a cookieless lifestyle. Them is the best cookies I've ever had in my life. As you could expect, that conversation went how you thought it was gonna go, and her parents showed up. And as soon as her dad got here, he was like, "Hey, what you?" You know, old black men always sucking on their teeth, even if they ain't got no food in their mouth. What's going on with these boxes? This old young man decides to break down 142 of the boxes that Kim opened. And to be fair, asked me to do, but it was on the honey-do list. I have ADHD. I forgot about it. And then I just never got around to it because it was 142 boxes. Who the hell orders 142 packages at one time? I'm still trying to make a good impression, right? Because this is my future father-in-law we talking about. I'm marrying his daughter. So what do I look like as a 31-year-old man letting 77-year-old Luke Cage break down boxes by himself? Now, I'm forced to work. This is forced labor. Finish breaking down the boxes. And by we, I mean he, because for the most part, doing that thing that
Huh?
all bad employees do. Where
Skip
they
this one because it's not a real "Am I the asshole?" It's not a real one.
That's what I say.
It's a real story, like it's his life, but I mean, it's not like a real "Am I the asshole?"
Okay. Yeah, that's what I say. Okay, here we go. Am I the asshole for keeping my money for college? Okay.
For refusing to pay for my sister's husband's surgery with my inheritance/college money. For context, my sister is 27 and I'm 18. We lost our dad a year ago. He was my only parent. My mom was never in me or my sister's life. Dad left money, an inheritance, for me and my sister, and she used their inheritance to get new cars and renovate her house. I live with my aunt right now because my brother-in-law didn't allow me to stay with my sister. I'm planning on using my inheritance money to pay for college tuition. I've always wanted to be a doctor, but I haven't decided which branch yet. My sister and I haven't been close. It started after she got married, and her chronically ill husband, who's allowed to make backhanded comments about our dad and mock his illness and make a scene at my dad's funeral only because he's ill and shouldn't be held accountable for his behavior. I've distanced myself, but my sister kept visiting a lot lately, venting about my brother-in-law's condition. He's been in and out of the hospital for heart problems and in need of surgery. She brought up my inheritance money several times, but I ended up cutting the conversation short. She then straight up asked if I could help pay for her husband's surgery, and she'd pay it back in less than a year. I felt uneasy because if I give her the money from my inheritance, which is a large amount, there's no guarantee she'll pay it back before it's time to apply for college. I'm taking a year gap, but I know my sister can't pay back that much, and I felt I was risking my future. I refused to help, and she had a meltdown at my aunt's house, calling me heartless and cruel with no empathy. She said that her husband's health should be a priority, and I needed to help because education is nothing compared to someone's health, and asked if I'd be happy to see her as a widow and my nephew with no father. My aunt suggested others pay, but most of them cut my sister and her husband off. I argued that her husband's poor health isn't my fault after she kept blaming me and guilt tripping me. She kept crying, and although my aunt decided to stay out of it, she said that I should be prepared for permanent damage in my relationship with my sister if I don't help her now. She's been sending texts and pictures of her family, telling me that this is what I was saying no to: a happy, healthy family with a healthy husband and father. I cried, and I felt like I was being selfish and not a good aunt and sister. I asked my friend, and he said, let them sell the cars and all the luxurious stuff they bought to afford the surgery, and warned me that if I give them the money, I'll never get it back and I may not be able to go to medical school. So am I the asshole for refusing to pay for my sister's husband's surgery with my inheritance/college money?
This is a good one here. This is a good
This
one.
is an easy one. No, you're not an asshole.
No, you're not an asshole, but it raises some questions though. But go ahead.
No, to me, it's not like it'll just be what it's gonna be. Like, yeah, your relationship with your sister is gonna be strained, but I don't think that it's right that your sister is coming to you, number one, putting you in a position to where you even have to tell her no for something like that, to where it's impacting your future. But then also your sister is telling you how she feels about you going to college anyway. It sounds like there's resentment anyway, where, oh, it's just college, it's just education. That has nothing to do just with his life. Hell, he's chronically ill. So just because you can, let's just say I give you the money, pay for this, he's chronically ill. That means something else could come on down the road and we could be right back in the same position. And now you done fucked off my money. So no, that's easy.
Tasha, you are
Oh, my bad. I'm just saying.
Tasha, you're a beast. Cece said, friend is right. Cece said right, and adding a guilt complex to
Yeah, sitting them ugly ass, I would block you. Fuck them pictures. Fuck them kids. Fuck them pictures. Because the next thing she's gonna be coming to you and ask you to pay for the funeral. No. What happened to her money? What happened to your sister's money? You know, shit.
Y'all are heartless, man. Cece said they ain't got no insurance.
I'm saying, shit, a GoFundMe. Shit, sell some plates. I don't know.
All of y'all ladies are heartless. See, Sherry said the sister is a selfish bitch. That's your husband. You should be mad. Damn, what does it say that the fucking man on the panel? It's like, well, damn, the man might die, y'all, and life is important. Like,
he's chronically ill. That means that he's probably not even really working or doing anything now. So no, he's chronically ill. And if he has something that is so life, that he has something that's so life debilitating, he more than likely it's just there, and it's adding undue stress anyway to the sister. So
I'm
no.
not saying y'all wrong, but y'all so cut and dry about this shit. Like, you ain't even giving it. No.
Oh. Because to me, there ain't no other view. Like it's no. That's easy. No.
Boy, y'all kind of like, look, and I'm trying to show a little empathy here that, okay, she wasn't responsible with her part of the inheritance. She fucked it off, but the man is dying, and like she's coming to you saying, look, he might die if he don't have this surgery or whatever. Y'all just kind of like, fuck that.
And you ain't sold nothing in the house? No, no, You better have a yard sale, sell the fucking house, everything.
She said she'll pay it back in less than a year.
No, because again, if he's chronically ill, I guarantee you something else will pop up to where, well, I can't take you back. And then you know what's gonna end up happening? Let's just say she don't pay you back in a year. Y'all gonna end up falling out over money anyway. So just go ahead and just do it now.
That's true. And I'm not disagreeing with y'all. I'm just saying how cut and dry y'all are with this shit. Like, damn, no kind of, well, let me think about it.
No.
Cece says she should have used that money for her husband, not me.
Exactly.
Cece said, couldn't be me. She squandered hers. Oh well.
She did.
Goddamn. And then Cece said, where's his family?
All great questions. Exactly.
Damn, Cece. Oh my God. So she says they might be buying.
Right. Exactly. Shit. They ain't sold nothing. So you have multiple vehicles. Well, if he's chronically ill, shit, he don't need his. You need one car.
Oh shit. Oh my God. Y'all are brutal. Look, if y'all related to them, don't you get no health issues.
No, don't do us like that. You need to exhaust all other. Let me be the last choice. Don't put your eggs in my basket. Don't count my pockets. Let me be the last choice. And I mean the last choice behind Salvation Army and begging on the corner. Let me be the last choice. I'm serious. Shit.
Y'all need to know she got brothers. If y'all ever see this, she said let her be the last choice.
The last choice. Don't put me on the top of the list.
Oh my God.
Nope.
You got me over here sweating. You and Cece, y'all are good with this shit, you know. And then she gonna throw the last Peters there. They're taking advantage of the 18-year-old.
Right. Yeah. I don't like that sending pictures and shit of the family. You would get blocked expeditiously, for real.
Oh, that was too funny right there. Okay. I don't disagree, but damn. All I'm saying is damn. Like damn, but folks, this has come to the end of our show for tonight for sure. And so, yes, look, we wanted to end, of course, by making sure that we tell you guys this is Real Talk, wishing you a happy holiday. And in these last couple of minutes, we want to share because we're going on hiatus for the rest of the year. So, Tasha, what are your plans, of course, as we head into the holiday season? Any that you want to share?
No, just trying to make it to the end of the year. That's it. Without choking a bitch. That's all I'm trying to do.
Same here. Just
Right.
Tasha and I talk, and we're in rough times right now, as I'm sure many of you are as well. Limping to the end of the year, we're tired.
Yeah.
We are tired. You know, and we work from home. And so where we might not be as physically burned out, we are mentally burned out. And a lot of it's from dealing with dumb ass people. CC, like you said, happy holidays. Y'all be safe and blessed. I feel the same way. Look, I, of course, am going to pop in and post things, of course, because I'm not going away anywhere. My plans, like Tasha, is to just make it to the end of the year. I'm looking forward to resting on these different little breaks, doing absolutely nothing. I thought at one point I might get my sister and niece, but to come up, but as it happens, we're not going to be able to see each other this holiday season. That's fine. So Sherry says, sis, happy holidays, rather.
Happy holidays.
I love you. She said that's the goal, to continue to be alive and healthy. Absolutely. I have a doctor's appointment next month. Knock on wood that I'm no worse for the wear. And then of course, we have one more show on Brenton. We're going to do one more show on the 19th. So if you'll follow TFG Tonight with Brenton Haynes, that'll be the end of the year show where we plan to show highlights from the whole year. So that should be fun. And then, of course, if the mood strikes me, I'll pop in and do whatever strikes me the mood, share my opinion. But I definitely want to thank everybody for getting us to the end of the year. It's been a long year, a fast year in some ways in terms of the way the time went by, but a long year. A lot has happened, and as I said at the beginning, for you who might have missed the beginning of the show, this might be the end of Real Talk in its current iteration. I may come back in 26 and do something a little different. So this will be conversations I'll have with Tasha and decide what maybe makes sense. But creatively, it's time to do something different, like any show. For those of you who don't know, Tasha and I, we've been doing this for how long, Tasha?
For 5 years.
5 years. We've been doing this for 5 years. Thank you, CC. So this was a good show. I'm going to miss you guys if you don't come back. So again, I'll be back in some form or not. But Tasha and I have been doing this for 5 years. It started when the pandemic hit. And I would like to believe that we covered a lot of ground. There's still a lot of things that I'll talk about relationship-wise, but creatively, a lot of us are in different places right now with different family members. When I say family, I'm talking about the social media family, from those who have been on the panel. So, life is lifing, we've seen deaths, births, replacements, job changes, life changes, all kinds of things are happening. So with that said, I want to end on a positive note. I fully expect and hope and pray to God for all of us that we come back refreshed in 2026, ready to face a new year and whatever those challenges may look like. And I truly value the friendships I've made. Don't want to lose those. So please stay tuned for me, for my sake. I will definitely keep you in the loop. CC, I call you a super fan. I don't use that title lightly. You and Miss Toria have supported the platforms I've been a part of in a way that I couldn't ask for better support. Thank you so much. I hope you continue to do so. My sis Sherry, she's dealing with her own things, believe it or not. I'll share this with you. I don't think she would mind. Her husband has been in rehab from a stroke for going on a year. So he's been away from home for what is now going into 11 months. And she spends every day as the primary caregiver for our mother, who's 90 and whose health is starting to take a little bit of a turn. So that's why I said there's things happening. She said, can't get rid of me. I love it. I love it. Terrence, happy holidays, cousin. Appreciate you. That's why I said, God willing, I hope to come back refreshed, re-energized, and do something different. But I will certainly be back. It just may not be back with this current platform of Real Talk as we talk about relationships. Over the 5 years that Tasha and I have done this, I've seen that term Real Talk is other people are using it now, on many other shows. So, it's time to change it up. The best shows that have ever been on every platform creatively. Sometimes it's time to do something different. You know, Game of Thrones had to end. The Sopranos had to end. Sometimes shows have to end. The Witcher, you know, has a final season. Things have to end, but it don't mean that we're going away. So I close by saying, stay tuned, have a safe, happy holiday, and don't be surprised if I pop up amidst the holidays doing something fun with music. And if you see me pop up, as always, please feel free to join. I hope to see you there. Laugh, talk, let me know how you're doing. But this is Real Talk for Tasha and myself. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have a happy rest of the year. We appreciate you so much, you know. So T said it can end, but it doesn't have to be the end. Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Peace and love, everybody.
Bye, guys.